So if you're interested in learning more about the triggers of your brain anxiety, this video we're going to get into a little more detail on some of the ways that we approach balancing out biochemicals. My name is Dr. Terranella, and in this video we're going to discuss some of the specific cofactors and enzymes that help your body break down some of the stimulating neurotransmitters and also help shift the balance so you have more of the calming neurotransmitters. So if this is something that's interesting to you, keep watching. We're going to get into the details. We're all about helping you gain deeper knowledge and understanding of what's going on in your body. That's why we produce these videos. So hopefully this edition gets you a little bit closer towards that aim. I also wanted to point out that sometimes when I'm producing these videos and content, that sometimes I get a slight thing wrong, like quoting something, a stat or a name of something. And so there's a corresponding blog article on our website, swintegratedmedicine.com/blog, that has a lot more detail and will correct those mistakes if there are any. It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes it does, and the blog article will correct for those. So I also wanted to point out that if you like this type of information, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you watching. If you do have any questions about any of the content, either here or on the blog, that's what the comment section is for, to ask those questions. So again, thanks for watching, and let's dig into it. Okay, so now I wanted to discuss some of the things that may trigger this imbalance, excess of the stimulation, maybe you have normal amount of the sedating GABA, but it's just that these are so high. So first, let's talk about the amines. So we have, like I said earlier, dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, and then we have serotonin and then we have serotonin and histamine. Get that camera in there. So these are cleared through a common pathway called comt and mao-a, mao-b, monoamine oxidase. And there's an A version and a B version. So first we'll talk about the comt. So what is an enzyme? The comt enzyme basically is catechol transferase, and what that does is it takes dopamine and epinephrine and turns it into a less stimulating version of that. And eventually it'll get cleared out of the body, so you're not swimming in all these stimulating neurotransmitters. The comt enzyme basically catalyzes that reaction, and in order for it to do that, it needs sufficient amounts of cofactors, and cofactors are vitamins and nutrients. In the case of comt, that nutrient is magnesium and SAMe. And so if you don't have enough of those, if you have like a methylation problem or not enough magnesium, you're going to be slow to eliminate your catecholamines. So that can cause you to have higher amounts of these and trigger this anxiety in your brain, literally. So then when it comes to histamine and serotonin, we think about serotonin as something that's good for the brain and, makes you feel happy. But when it's in excess, it definitely doesn't do that. You can read up on serotonin syndrome and you kind of get the idea that it's a very anxious sort of state. So the serotonin and histamine side are cleared through the monoamine oxidase. And similar to that, you need a catalyst, which is the MAO, and the cofactor for that. So as long as you have enough of that going, you'll be able to eliminate those. So a lot of times people have problems with their COMT and problems with their MAO, and it causes like a logjam in their system, and they're not able to eliminate all these amines, and the brain is just overstimulated. It's swimming in all these amines. So keep that in mind. And when it comes to histamine, there's separate ways, even outside the monoamine oxidase, to eliminate the histamine. So it has the HNMT, histamine, and methyl transferase, and it also has the DAO, which eliminates the histamine inside your gut from the food and microbes and stuff that produce histamine in your digestive tract. So that's the amines. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about GABA and glutamate. So GABA and glutamate are kind of two opposite sides of the coin. They're kind of like a yin and yang, because glutamate can actually be turned into GABA given sufficient catalyst and cofactor for that conversion to occur. there's a GAD enzyme that basically allows your body to turn that glutamate into GABA. So, and that cofactor for that is B6. But if you don't have enough, if you don't have enough B6, that can lead to more anxiety because your brain is swimming in this excitatory neurotransmitter. But keep in mind, you can get, excess amount of these cofactors too. So don't just load up on B6. It can become toxic in your system if you take too much. So probably get some supervision on, how much you should take, etc. But B6 and magnesium can be helpful that way. Now, the other thing that's probably more important is why you have excess glutamate to begin with. Now, there's not really a way that we can directly access these neurochemicals in the brain. You can't, stick a needle in there and draw out your neurochemicals. But what we can do is look at the amount of inflammation in your blood. And when you have inflammation in your blood, typically that translates to more inflammation in the brain. And that inflammation typically translates into higher glutamate levels. So if you have high inflammation in your blood and you have anxiety, typically that's going to be correlated to higher glutamate levels. Now, you could have these other things going on as well, but what you want to do is look at why that inflammation is there and try and unravel that and fix that and calm the immune system down. Then your immune system isn't producing all of these communication tools like TNF alpha and interleukin that basically cause your brain to make more of these excitatory neurotransmitters like glutamate. So calming down the inflammation, wherever that's coming from, will typically reduce the glutamate levels. Like I mentioned earlier, they're using ketamine now as which is a potent, very closely monitored, scheduled drug, but it has been, did go through some clinical trials and have some positive research on it, showing that it can help in people that have major depressive disorder, and it's sort of recalcitrant or not responding to any other treatment modality. And that points to this inflammation glutamate thing. So if that's you, you might want to look at what might, get your inflammation markers checked, like the CRP level, and then look at some things that might be causing that. So hopefully that video was helpful in helping you understand what's creating these persistent anxiety emotions and feelings. This is the third video in this series, so if you want to learn more about some of these imbalances in biochemicals and things like that, check out the other videos. This is part 3, and I will be posting blog articles that correspond to each of these videos, so if you want to check out some of the more detailed information, such as some of the research behind this, you can check out those blog articles. There's a link on our YouTube channel, and hopefully you like the videos, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.